Hey guys, it's Krystal Lucier here, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore, and this is Realtor Life. Thank you for joining us, and I'm so happy you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about a few really important things. We're going to be talking about rest and paying attention to your body, the power of a good brainstorm, how to persevere when you really don't want to, and the idea of budgeting. So there's a lot to pack in. Let's get started. Okay, so resting and listening to your body. So I'm going to start with a little story. Most of us if you're a realtor, an entrepreneur, whatever your passion is, probably you have that A-type personality that we all have, which means we're crazy. We may be like gone are the ideas of being done at 5 o'clock and resting and relaxing all weekend. That's really not our jam. And so what happens sometimes is you go, 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 and you go even when maybe you shouldn't. So I had an experience last weekend after weeks of feeling just not myself, feeling dizzy. I would go up the stairs and almost just like I'd have a racing heart. Like it was just a lot was going on. And finally, my family was like, go to the emergency room. Like I had seen a doctor and it didn't really we had scheduled some tests. They were taking a while. And so my family was like, go. Specifically, my sister was like, go now. Like, do not collect $200. Do not pass go. Like, just go. Um, and so naturally, I had appointments. So I called my clients and I did try to like fill the appointments first. No one was available. And I told them and I said, is it like this is the situation? I'm so sorry. And they were like, they didn't even blink an eye. They were like, absolutely, health first, 100%. Like, don't even worry about it. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Because sometimes, guys, I think what we build up in our heads, like we think everyone's relying on us and we kind of have this like superhero mentality and we're not superheroes. We're just people and it's okay. And our clients will understand that. And honestly, if your clients don't understand that, I had a client once that ended up working with someone else because I was on a mission trip, and her exact words to me were, "Oh, well, you were mucking about in the jungle, so we decided to work with someone else." Wasn't in the jungle, but it happens. Um, and so anyway, so I ended up going to the hospital. It was an interesting experience because I don't know about anyone here, but I don't like the hospital. I think the emergency room is a scary place to be. I don't really think I should be in an emergency room unless I'm like about to fall over and die or I've like lost a limb. Like those are the two scenarios where I think it's justified to be sitting in the emergency room. Um, and I was like kind of expecting myself, like I was expecting to go in to wait for a long time just for a doctor to be like, yeah, you're good. Fun fact, that's not what happened. So I went and I only had to really wait for about half an hour. And then they kept me though for 13 hours of tests. So my blood iron or red blood count, whatever you call it, super low, like super low. And I was like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. Narrator, that is a big deal. And don't go doom scrolling on Google, but we did. And like worst case scenario, you literally like drop dead because your body doesn't have enough blood and red blood cells to function. So that was scary. They ended up giving me a unit of blood, and some tests and some new medication. So fingers crossed. But then as a realtor, so got the unit of blood, went home, had an amazing sleep, woke up, boom, 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 I'm ready to go. And my body was like, absolutely not. So I was like kind of go, go, go all day. And then I sat down on my couch and I fell asleep at 9:15. Like just fell asleep, like half sitting up. Um, and I realized that it was not an instant fix. It was a help. And the doctor told us that. Like he's like, this is going to help you build your stores back up. And I'm taking an iron supplement and everything, but I needed to take time to chill. So this is like 3 or 4 days into me trying to relax a little bit. I had to say no to some opportunities because I wasn't feeling 100%. And you really have to listen to your body. So that's to say, if there's anything going on, and it doesn't have to be as serious as like being severely anemic. If you have anything going on and you need to take a beat. Because at the end of the day, your health is more important. And if you are not healthy, you can't help anyone. So just doing one more thing, running one more, like, we don't know how much time we even have. So don't spend it racing and putting your health at risk, right? That's the first thing. Um, so yeah, so it's just really important. And I have to say, like, I was so impressed by the staff and the facilities. I'm in London, Ontario, as many of you know, and the London Health Science Center, their emergency room, everyone, except maybe the receptionists, but I feel like they deal with a lot. But everyone was warm and welcoming, and like, obviously, you go, you're a little scared about what's going on, and they were just really kind. And, um, yes, it took a long time. I'm sure they're all exhausted too. Um, I did think it was funny that they do have like if you're really hungry, there are sandwiches that they can give you. I'm on a weird challenge right now. I ended up having a sandwich because 13 hours in, I had brought snacks just in case, but I was starving. And my husband had come to sit with me from, I think I got there at 12, 11:30, 12, and he came at 3, and we were there till like 1 in the morning. So he was also hungry, but credit to him, he didn't complain about being hungry. So we shared our sandwich. Um, but they're just really, really kind. So if you have to go, now, if you don't have to go, I'd still say don't go, because it's like there's people like they're going to triage you. So if you don't need to be there, your wait time will probably be much longer. You can find wait times online though. I thought that was very cool. So thank you, technology. You can actually look up the emergency room at any given time and say like, what is the waiting time? So that morning it had been like 1.5 hours. And then by the time I got there, it was 2 hours. By the time I left, it said 11 and a half hours. Now, that doesn't mean like start to finish. That doesn't mean like it will be 11 and a half hours for you to get in and out, because I think that's basically what I was at. No, just to wait. Just to wait. Now, I feel like if you did go in and you were like super trauma or you've just been in a terrible accident, I think you get bumped to the front. That's the whole triage thing. But if you don't need to be there, I'd almost say like, yeah, I mean, that's where my fear comes, where you're just going to be sitting and sitting and sitting. Um, but it was a good experience. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it unless you have to go, but for me, for what I had to do, it was good. Okay, so in the resting, so it helps me a lot. Sometimes you take time and you organize, you journal, whatever. And what I've been noticing lately is that there is when things get slow in real estate or things get, I don't know, or the season changes or it's Monday, whatever, we always have an excuse to spend more money. And every kind of few months, every few years, we do this like a buckle down on like, what are we actually spending? And I don't know about you guys, but every now and then I will get this charge on my credit card and it's not fraud. It's like some company that fine printed me and said, okay, you bought our product. Now you're going to buy it every 3 months for the rest of time. And so I'm kind of debating this with a company because I ordered something and I like it, but I only wanted one. And I haven't received a second one, but I just paid another $90 and no thank you. So I've been really diligent this week about kind of stopping those things. I'm also canceling memberships I don't need, subscriptions I don't need. And I feel like they creep up. So if you did this kind of in COVID, like a lot of people did, or right after COVID when everyone had 17,000 subscription boxes coming to their house, I would say it's a good time to say, okay, so let's do it again. Let's see what's going on. Let's say you get in the habit of shopping with Amazon or Temu or wherever. Like, do you need that stuff? And if you do, all the power to you, right? But just do a revisit because I keep talking about Mind Valley on here. Mind Valley is so good. So I'm still doing my reading. Um, there's a reading one and a memory one, though I'm on hold for both of them because I actually need time. And since September started and it's gotten very busy, my time has gotten very minimal. So I can't do the challenges the way I was. But I did start something called QuadraFit, which is actually supposed to help you with your finances. So it goes super basic. And I decided to use a couple of things. So there was this Christians Against Poverty course I helped with. Um, and that kind of gave us a framework to help people with. But then um, between this Mind Valley course and I created kind of a comprehensive budget for myself to really like take seriously what I'm spending. And to make sure that if my goals, for example, are to buy a third property, that I need to really get my acting gear, especially because the market is kind of it's really slow right now. Lots of activity, but not there's not a lot that's landing. And so just in making sure that if I am looking for investing strategies and things like that, I can't just be spending haphazardly. And many of us need to focus on that because it when markets shift, there's a group of agents or a group of people that will really suffer because they didn't prepare or they didn't shift accordingly, right? So, as far as like, not to say don't spend money, but just spend it more wisely. Like, for example, I'm on a challenge where I'm eating a lot of proteins and a lot of vegetables and healthy fats, but they're all real food. So, my expenditure on like protein powders and supplements down, like nothing. Um, which is kind of crazy because I didn't realize how much I was spending on it because it was a grocery item. Was it? But anyways, if you like it, you do you. Um, it's a good idea just to track and to make sure you're using things. Like we ended up canceling, we weren't watching Apple TV. Now I loved Ted Lasso and I loved Shrinking. And if it comes up, if there's a show I want to watch again, I'd probably get it again. But then there was like with Amazon, we had Stack TV and Paramount. So you're not just paying for the subscription, you're paying for the other thing and the other thing just so you can watch a show. And then we're like, if they want us to buy something or rent something, we're all like, oh my goodness, that's so expensive. But you're still paying it. You're just paying it in little bits. Um, so yeah, definitely go through and then look at everything. So like whether it's clothes, was Amazon, dining out, donations, education. I'm a big proponent in being generous, but and I think I've said this before, but be generous with what you have to give, right? So when we look at our credit cards, your credit card is not just extra money. It's actually like you have to pay that off. So if you have save up money to donate, I think it's even more meaningful if you've saved up money and there it is and you're giving it, right? Or give your time if you can't give your money right now. Um, okay, so now brainstorming. So the brainstorming part is very important. So as I said, like the markets, lots of activity, not a lot is landing. We're sitting in a group and 15 years in, I've done a lot of things to sell listings, like marketing strategies, things like that. But sometimes you you forget. And so there's something we do called property boost. And I wasn't doing property boost, mostly because when you do property boost, you do get a lot of hits, but they're not leads. Like they're not people that are actually even meant to click sometimes. And so we were talking, and one of my colleagues was like, "Hey, are you doing property boost? Like you can get more activity." And he's right. So I did it, and I've gotten a ton more activity on my listings, which is fantastic. Now, nothing's landed yet, but it's only been a couple of days. Um, What's nice about the brainstorm is that we can talk about things that work, things that don't work. I got some honest feedback on one of my listings from my colleagues, which was really great. But we're we're in this business and it can feel very lonely. right? You can feel very alone. And we hear that all the time. And you combat that in different ways. So small groups, right? So small groups of agents, like we do that with Buffini, but also small groups at the office. Like our team meets and then we invite in other agents because we just have a great, like we talk about our wins and we talk about our struggles and our gratefuls and then our clients and see if we can help each other. So that's where that brainstorm came from. Very cool. But then also even going to events. Like I had to say no to an event because of just how I'm feeling. But luckily one of my colleagues is there. She's gonna kind of give me the goods on it when she gets back. And it's important that even if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, to keep going, right? So pivot. We know this from COVID, guys, right? And when we look at things like you might want to quit. You might feel like no matter what I do, I can't make anything move. And I mean, and we feel like that all the time, but it's not about does everything move at once? It's not about comparing yourself to anyone. It's like, can you move a little bit forward every day from where you were? Right? That's all it is. And so if we look at like even right now, I had to change around all of my goals because Canada Post is on strike again. Um, but a huge piece of my business is sending out notes. So what do I do? Do I just kind of go, oh well, nothing? No, I changed it up. So now I'm doing more calls, more emails, and we're doing a couple of in-person notes. And then we have our assistant kind of who's ready to help with that too. And bonus, if she delivers them for us, we can put a little pop-by with that. Boom, that's two activities. Okay, so. That's the other thing. So if you don't like where you are, move. That's one of my very favorite sayings. So people will often complain that they don't like this, they don't like that. So if you don't like it, change something. Either change you or change your surroundings, right? So, or change how you look at your surroundings. So there's been times for me when I get really frustrated. Um, Usually when I can't people please, which I'm working on, but I'll get really frustrated and then you're like, okay, give yourself a few minutes to be frustrated and then throw that away. And then it's like, okay, now that I've been frustrated, what can I do to make this better? So, for example, um, kudos to my clients. So, those little directional signs, I am not a fan, mostly because they end up getting like thrown away or like run over by a lawnmower. They're not that expensive, but they're expensive enough. And the frames that they come with will sometimes stab you by accident. Like there's a whole, if you know, you know. And so they wanted these directionals. And I'm in a I'm in a phase when my clients have a suggestion, I'm like, let's try it. So we ordered more directionals and the power of delegation. Our assistant was able to go and put those out for me. And so she put them out from all my listings, feeling really good about it. And she was able to deliver cookies for me. Like it's the power of delegation is a big deal because then while she's doing that, I'm able to work on a deal that I'm working on, right? And our other admin assistant is working on getting some paperwork done. So it really is working together. But if you're not happy somewhere, like if you're in a situation, whether it's with a client, whether it's a brokerage, whether it's your like I just stepped back from a membership that I had because I was like, I'm not using it. And the reason I'm not using it is when I go, I don't really feel great. Um, and as much as I want to think, we do this all the time. I know I do. I feel bad taking my money away from this organization. They're a big organization. They don't care. Like maybe they care, but they don't, it's not going to like not, they won't be able to we're not going to be in a situation where they're not able to turn on the lights because I stopped my membership, right? And the same thing with like a donation. So I realized that my heart wants to give, but where I'm giving right now just doesn't align. So I changed up my donations too. And that was hard. One of those I've had for like uh 10 years, and the other one has been for 5 years, but it's just not like I'm so arm's length from this situation that I would like to give my money more locally where I can actually like I see that people need it and I'd like to help. And so you don't have to just do what you've always done because you've always done it. Because when we hear people that kind of push back against innovation, that's literally what they say, guys. They say, well, We're going to do it this way because we've always done it this way. And then you have some voice of reason coming out going, what about this? And then it's amazing and the iPhone gets invented. Whatever. You don't know. Um, just to go back really quick to the budgeting. So if you are in any way not happy with how you're dealing with finances and with real estate, I would say especially with real estate, given that 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023 were pretty good years. Um, 2024 was iffy for some people, and 2025 was iffy for some people. But we are human beings, and if you happened to take what you made in those like heyday years and create a life around that, especially new agents, I'm talking to you, um, that's not a fun time when that changes, right? And then just like sellers, you're hoping that the money's just going to, everything's just going to go up again, right? It went down, it went up. What's going on? Um, We're being told that the spring will be busy. I'm noticing in London, prices are not where we thought they would be right now. And activity is not where we think it usually is for kind of like the middle of fall. And fall is like a second spring. So ultimately, what you want to do is figure out, number one, remember that your commission's not a paycheck, right? So you want to pay yourself from the commission. Um, and then you also need a backup plan, right? So there's, if you don't have a lot of closings, you still have to show up for your clients, right? So if you don't close any houses, which means you don't make any money, but you still have bills to pay, you still need to figure out how to show up for your clients and make it happen. And that's that faith piece, right? So I know that some people will get off the ride and they will go and they'll get a job somewhere else. Um, and ultimately it comes down to faith. In every market, there are real estate professionals out there that make money. Okay, so every market, it doesn't matter if the interest rates were like 25%, it doesn't matter if it was 2008. There are agents out there making money, and we need to figure out how to be one of them, right? That's it. So get the budget in line because if you are overspending, um, for whatever reason, whether it's like keeping up with the Joneses, whether it's like you love this, you love that. Now there's some things I refuse to negotiate on. Refuse. Like will not, it's not happening. For me, it is giving back. I will always give back. Number two, vacations. I will always go on vacations. I think it's very important. I don't know how many years we have on the planet, and I will enjoy my time. That's a non-negotiable. And number three is education, right? So I'm going to cram as much information into this bad boy as I can, because it is a passion for me and I love it. And if I take any of those things away, I don't love my life. So what would I be doing? Um, Now, does that mean I go on like $50,000 vacations? No, it does not. But I mean, and if you do, all the power to you. There's no judgment here. I think the thing is that figure out how to enjoy your life, to really enjoy your life, um, and how that might look, right? So it's not advice. I'm just saying, listen to all these people. Some people, like the Mind Valley guy, great guy. He was talking about how vacations maybe aren't the best place to put your money because you don't make any money from it. I would argue that you come back refreshed and recharged and you are ready to crush it. I think you do make money from it. Education, I think as long as you keep growing. Ooh, I'm starting a new book today, guys. So it's called Present Over Perfect. And I'm pretty pumped because in my neighborhood in Summerside, so I've been doing these morning walks. I discovered that they have all these little tiny libraries. So I donated some books and I was able to also get a book. So this is by a woman named Shauna Niequist, and the foreword is by Brene Brown. That's exciting. Very exciting. So, at the end of the day, I think what's important is that you figure out what's important to you, right? That's all it is. Figure out what's important to you and remember that we're building a life, right? You're building a business, but you're building a life. And if we go over what we talked about today, make sure that you're resting and paying attention to your body. So I ended up in the hospital, but you know what is equally a pain? Burnout. So burnout is real. And if you have burnout, it will take you weeks to get better, like weeks. And it's not a good scene. So make sure that you're taking time for you, maybe with a vacation. But if you can't go on a vacation, take a day and just chill. Take a weekend and just chill. No guilt, right? No one has to even know where you are. You just chill out because we work and we work and we work. And that's fine. I love working, but you can forget how to rest, and that's not good. Make sure that you're brainstorming with your colleagues, whether you are doing it um, in a formal meeting setting, whether you go for coffee, whether you're in like a small meeting, a small group, whatever it is, there are tons of places that you can gather with other agents or other entrepreneurs. Networking events are great. And just pick someone's brain. Find a top producer, take them to lunch, ask them for a coffee. Like buy them the coffee or the lunch. Um, but just know that there are ways we don't know everything. Even the top producers don't know everything. So take that time. And maybe if someone knew it, maybe they forgot it. Maybe you forgot. Like I forgot about these property boosts because we do just want more activity, right? More activity. Um, and keep going, guys. Like even when you feel like it's really tough, like I have a client and I know it's hard for people to understand. If you are selling your house, you feel very exposed, you feel very vulnerable. And sometimes you just feel like, well, an open house will do it. And we do have open houses, absolutely. But the sign, the open houses, all of these things, they are potentially going to help, but they're also more likely going to help me in my business versus getting your house sold. And so right now, we have a lot of, I know like in our city, there's so many open houses and we get pages every day. Hey, can people help? Because if you have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 listings, you can't do an open house on all of them, right? And so just helping people understand that open houses are good, but that's not what sells houses. Um, it's one of the like you have to keep having the conversations. And when I also say keep going, don't cower away from those conversations, guys. It sucks to talk to your clients when they're bummed that their house isn't selling. It's awful. It's terrible. No one likes it. But what's worse is them feeling like you're not communicating. They trusted you. You had this great plan, you put the sign up, and now you're just gone. Call them, send them reports, send them the actual activity that's online. You can get it. There's a little black realtor.ca app you can download. That app will give you all your stats, like how many people are clicking on it, how many people are favoriting it, all of this. If you didn't know about it, it's just like the red realtor app, but it's black and it's for us. Send the screenshot to your client, say this is what's going on. Send them a video, do whatever you need. Um, okay, so then if you don't like where you are, move. So guys, don't sit and complain. It's easy to say, oh, the market's this, the market's that. It is easy to just be bummed all the time. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be bummed. You can just figure out exactly what you want. So either change you, change your surroundings, or change how you look at your surroundings. And these are your three pillars, right? If you're doing something and it's not bringing you joy, stop doing it. Just stop doing it. Like I was leading a group in my office of agents. We started kind of a course and then we moved it into a mastermind. But people, they were amazing, but it was very sporadic. So they would not really make it a commitment. So they would prioritize things or it was just becoming where there's like maybe one or two people. And so I was finding it really hard on my own motivation. And like I wasn't getting paid for it. I wasn't like, I don't work for the brokerage. I'm also a realtor. And I was like, okay, if this is really going to bring my motivation down, I have to check, I have to change something because I like these people. I really like respect these colleagues. But if I'm coming in and then leaving feeling, ugh, like I wish more people had come, that's not good either. And so I kind of left it at that. We're going to pause it for now. If people really want that resource, I'm happy to do it again. I mean, this was a while ago and nobody has reached out. So I feel like it had run its course. And sometimes you kind of like, what is it, like you beat a dead horse, like it's done. Um, but it was a wonderful experience, but it's done now. There's a really good book if you want to read it called The Art of Gathering. And The Art of Gathering, basically, it's like things are amazing and then they have an end date. So sometimes we don't adhere to that, right? You'll go to a conference, you'll create a chat group, and then you keep trying to talk and keep it relevant, but it's done. It was beautiful, but it's over now. And if you can do that, you'll actually make the experience that much more meaningful. And then finally, just the budgeting. So figuring out the budgeting is good. Use AI. So I use Claude. You can use ChatGPT 5. Put all your stuff in. I put like a month's worth of spending. So I downloaded the CSV file from my bank for my personal and my personal account, personal Visa. And I also did it for my business account, business Visa. And I was like, here's my stuff. And then I kind of said what my goals were, and we were able to make a plan. So if you use AI, like especially the chat, like Claude or ChatGPT 5, like a really, really kick-ass assistant, sky's the limit. Okay, guys, I'm Krystal Lucier. This is just so, so fun for me, and I hope you guys learned a lot too. Also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned next week because we have a very cool interview coming up.